trees are green and overhanging, where the light free and everlasting.
So, a couple things as we resume where we left off after that very important Titus conversation. One, whatever it is that people want us to do in regards to the tie is long gone, because that's something that is early, whatever it is, I didn't have the requirements for it or failed it. So people have been talking about the tie. I know about the tie, but I know that we don't have that. That's not happening in this LP. So, well aware of it, just letting you know. Second, I just, for my own curiosity, went back and redid the conversation to see what would happen if you brought up Ruby liking girls.
Okay.
And basically it just leads to a short scene where most of the Hardy Boys are either what? I had no idea. But one or two of them are like, you're an idiot if you couldn't tell.
Okay.
And then...
So some of them were awake.
Yeah, and then the super dumb one, Sharky or Shanky or whatever, was like, oh, well, maybe that'll explain why she didn't fuck me. And then they're like, yeah, because you also live in your mom's basement, loser. And you smell. And they're like, oh. And that was pretty much that.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the little bit of extra flavoring that we would have missed out on there. Yeah, okay, so I think we loaded up the correct file there. Yes.
All right, so... Yo, that board is getting cleaned up, huh?
Yes, it is.
Pretty good.
It's also scrolling to Friday now. Inspect the traps, confront the pigs and get your gun back at 10 o'clock.
Ooh, near the old fish market, okay.
Ask about Ruby in the village. And if I can just give myself some wrist support here, thank you very much. And then we've got to go investigate the church, because that's a big old untouched bit.
Yeah, we need that club to be happening.
We're holding on to our stats, seeing what we need. For now,
Composure, half-light, pain threshold at 2, as well as electro. Shivers Encyclopedia at 8.
Yeah, let's let us hold on to one of those points.
Just in case.
Yeah. Now here's the other thing. We are, if I'm not mistaken, not too far away from premium karaoke time.
A few hours away.
So let's keep an eye. Was it 4:30?
For the karaoke?
When the disco lights come on?
I thought it was in the evening.
4 o'clock? 4 o'clock, yeah. I think it's 4 o'clock.
Okay. That early, huh?
4 o'clock with Kim is what we were basically waiting on.
Okay.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes, I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Sure am.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Shoot.
The world will end soon.
Okay. Does that mean you're ready?
Yes, shoot.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's Ellis Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09.
Neonatal Care Unit?
Mm-hmm.
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did, and that's it. There are no records of his employment in Krenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Ravashot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of a messed up story.
So then Wild Pine sent him in off the books. He's found in a leaf compactor. I assume that was a we don't want the baby.
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
Was he trapped in one of those bales?
Wow, like, what's wrong with a neighbor's doorstep, bro?
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Krenel is the armor.
Yeah, just... If you're in a situation where you're like, I don't know what to do with this baby, and your first instinct is to murder it, maybe just go with a doorstep approach.
Reconsider.
Maybe. A little less effort. A little easier, actually. So all we have to connect him is, to Krenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
She sounds pleased.
No?
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
Alright, name and service record.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
He says to himself.
This means something to him. To know that name. Like naming a case. It's important.
I'm glad
Like
the
pinball.
inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? 57's over and out.
Thank you.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Hey, maybe that
a
we've been
radio
friends
on a
now.
hook,
I
a
can-
pull-out toolbox, and
I can reach
the
for
soft
it.
glow
Yeah, maybe
of the
you
fuel
wanna annoy him.
preheater gauge. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not
Okay.
going to turn it on.
Okay,
That's
okay.
fine. No explosions, though.
Sorry, Kim. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Leaf compactor. Jesus.
It's kind of hardcore.
Hang in there, buddy.
But what if we put on the jacket? and
Something
talk to
down
him?
there. Musty smell of a potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vents. Good perception.
Evra said something. Maybe he will.
You know, I was really not expecting that reaction. I do have to say. Quite surprised.
Oh yeah, and the pants. Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry, officer. What do you want?
Host almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Inland
Is that the right
just checks out.
scope do you have on?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh no.
That's my other blue coat. Do. There we go.
Yeah, this order.
We have 3 blue coats. 4 if you count the robes. There you go.
Oh, sorry, officer. What do you
Oh,
want?
we're looking for trouble. It's not even.
Hey Gaston, no comment on the duds.
It isn't right. René wanted to be buried in his uniform, but I guess it doesn't matter now.
Oh man, doesn't
The
he?
lieutenant gives you a long, slow shake off his head.
Was that what you were looking for?
Oh no.
Is that what you wanted?
I mean, I was expecting a reaction, but
We got one.
I
Mission,
didn't mean to make everyone sad.
mission accomplished.
I was like,
The
"That
game,
sounds
the
like
game,
the man."
the game acknowledged it.
Oh, maybe Joyce will have something better to say about them.
Oh, you want me to put it back on? I was done, but if you want to see, we can find out.
Just showing the guns to everyone, you know. What's the word again? Content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
That's different.
Went to the village on the East Coast, officer. See you there. Joyce, says a note on the post. She has boated to another location. Because that's what you can do when you have a boat. Mm-hmm. Get the fuck out of here. Damn. After 4 days standing straight in a very cold location. That's pretty impressive. You want to check with Cindy? You want to see what she has to say?
Okay, let's do it actually.
You want to find out how the world reacts to someone cosplaying a Nazi?
Hey, Cindy.
Hello again, officers.
Oh, nothing at all.
I mean, you know, we paid her, so.
That's true. We're good now. We're good now.
Yeah, no, not quite a Nazi. More so a royalist.
All right,
Either way, an oppressive autocrat.
It's a bit uncomfortable.
If you want to read between the lines on that. Yeah, want to see how these guys feel about it?
Oh, you might like it.
He probably loves it.
Hey.
Looking for something, Aunt?
Nothing. Okay. Maybe there's nothing more then. Maybe we've exhausted our...
Right to work!
Yeah, keep on working, buddy.
Alright.
Okay, it's okay. We can get clean again. Put on that detective suit.
Yeah? Alright. just checking. Want you to be comfortable.
Not a lot of positive reactions up to now.
So far, none.
No.
So far, 0.
Oh, God.
See if Grandma gets any feelings.
She might run away. Kids are still playing.
Now, if she were to park that boat, it would probably be where the water is.
We checked that trap already.
We did check that trap already.
There's a door, and there's the empty shack. What about on the northeast right here?
Yep, there is a full dock.
Aha!
Hello.
Hey, we got the message.
I'll just keep the Cordeleche in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around the post.
Now, do you have the balls to even set foot in this town, or will the poor air, corrupt your sinuses?
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Tell her, Lillian.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
That's how you relate to the commoners? Joyce? Okay.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Jetty.
Oh, jetty.
She responds mournfully.
Yep. Why, yes, I love a good street meat. I'm down for a falafel.
It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Now that my home is down here.
Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here.
Wow.
Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
What is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse? And who is this scamp anyway?
Who is this camp? Want me to look into it?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
So how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze towards the village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
This doesn't look like the kind of boat that would navigate icy waters, but
Yeah,
what do I know?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
She squints her eyes. Don't mind that.
Back over here. Hey, Joyce. Over here.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right, politics time. Let's react.
Rhetoric gets it.
Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Real politic.
You're right with the K. This is all your fault.
You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them.
Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks.
This place is doomed either way.
Don't worry. I got her sword. You
Oh.
can flash the sword.
Perhaps you shouldn't have. I sort of liked it on her.
She leans against the railing, looking up at the grey sky.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
I like that the theme of Joyce has followed her.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up. Her raincoat flaps in the gust.
This Isola? This fishing village?
No, they're in Sealindian, Isola.
No, you haven't told me how they found it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Oblivion. That's so me.
45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though.
Or say nothing.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place.
Little self-dep humor right there.
Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now. We have time.
Do we?
He glances at his watch. It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story, she will tell it only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
Well, I guess we've gotten the lowdown. Maybe the drug trafficking
Until you come up with something at that intersection,
update.
I'm afraid I have little else to tell you. But I'll try. Ask.
Yes, so we do have a little bit more of a skeleton framework on the complex operation.
I'm glad to hear, officer. I'm sure you'll find out just what that means soon enough.
Oh,
She simply nods.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
wait. Where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
I mean, like, yeah, like, who else is sympathetic besides Sunday Friend, possibly, and or the Scab?
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
All right.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Oh, fucking authority.
Really?
I feel as if the way we concluded, especially after looking into the motor carriage, was like, yeah, we should report this and make something of it.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
So you want to not let the lieutenant talk? You're gonna cut in?
Oh, as yeah, right. If we cut him off to say the same thing, then that's still pretty rude. All right, let's be nice to Kim.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Damn. That's true. I wasn't going to tell Tommy Loam about it, but I almost told her because we're compromised.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Uh-oh.
She's been so chill over time that I kind of forgot that we're supposed to be at distant, like, squinting odds.
I feel like we've heard the bloodbath reference in the past.
We have. Something's coming.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
What was that about a bloodbath?
I actually heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
That's enough for now.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Which is exactly what everyone wants.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of
A
the
member of the
board.
board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
What? That's how you brought it up to them? Okay. Now what?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Krenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Krenel contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
Where are they?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bad. That's a no good. You've made a mess here.
I have to say, this is not.
This is not disco. Maybe your investigations can team up, shared resources and intelligence.
Boy, oh boy, is that not good.
Not disco at all.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She leans against the wooden planks.
if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
Where are they?
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Sedai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
You see, that's interesting because I've seen footage of bees teaming up on what I guess not are these types of hornets and doing that
Other
vibrating
hornets.
thing.
You have to cook them.
And they cook them.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like you lose numbers, but the bees win out through the war of attrition. Of course, in this particular instance, it probably wouldn't be about how much of it pops off with those two people, but it would be when the reinforcements arrive and whatever pulls up on the beach. And then the people who are originally not in the conflict now getting pulled into it because every member or worker on the board, you have your full uprising at that point.
Yeah.
And as Everard said, actual war.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
Like, they'd be relying on those shit caches of old fucking shooters like the McGravs, exactly, that we found. And, the numbers aren't going to do a lot for them at that point either.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Yep. Seek him? This is that great bloodletting I've been telling you about.
I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first.
Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
I think the confrontation is inevitable. Okay. So I don't want to say 4. Right? I don't want to say 4. But read this again.
Bonuses from the thought, +2 hand-eye coordination against enemies in FT 500 armor.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes the game just fucking tells you shit. So I'm a little like, well,
You don't want to take it up.
I can tell you what my optimist approach is, but I know that there's going to be armor and enemies within them.
It doesn't have to be like this, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois.
She looks at you, eyes damp from the wind.
One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, a good one, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Okay.
Now, I didn't interpret the gloaming as a political conflict-based uprising, as opposed to, I thought of it more as a metaphysical, unknowable broach of the abyss. What can you tell me about Krenel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
PMCs.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Metal Gear Solid 4 shit, basically.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Sounds like maybe the Colonel went a little native during the course of his duties.
Jeez. Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks.
Yeah. You should play MGS4 sometime. It has a whole, the plot is about a world where armies basically don't exist anymore because contracted armies can be hired to fight on behalf of nations. Okay. And so there's like 5 or 6 major ones that just fight each other on behalf of their clients, like Coke and Pepsi, you know, and you just live in a world where they all know each other and they fight each other, and it's just they do the thing and like, oh, now we're hired by them. See you guys down over in that conflict, you know.
Wow.
And it's a war economy that's running the whole planet. And then of course it's all owned by fucking the GEs and Nabiscos, and you know what I mean? Because yeah, you know, so you just, it's that same thing, just like it's that same bullshit, like food economy type ideology, except applied to war, you know, and like
interesting.
The whole, and then that becomes the global economy. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
She thinks.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Krenel.
Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
He said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on them?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the Colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Right. This Colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Oh.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret to her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. And Classier also mentioned it, I believe. What else? Nationality? Accent?
Yeah, don't say that name too loud.
Yeah, he said it. That's what I was gonna say.
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're likely to be armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Okay, and that's...
Savages.
So this is our WrestleMania sign then.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Not
right.
if they don't think that. It's a matter of perspective.
Yeah, they don't care about us. We're nobodies.
Good roll, though.
Vigilantes. The RCM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from?
We still need to know where they are.
We'll confront them directly.
They just need someone to put their fear of Revachol into their hearts.
Okay, we'll steer clear for the moment.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens,
Clearly.
I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Yo, let's go.
Oh, are we gonna run into the bosses, Joyce?
Yes!
Where the fuck are they?
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Of course he is.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Oh no. Okay, so we have one identified and another one to find. We must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates.
Right
Scab.
to kill. Right to kill.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
I mean, there really is nothing goofier than a giant, like, cop sliding in between some protesters and like bashing some windows up with like an anarchist shirt on or whatever, you know, like a fucking agent provocateur. It's like a wrestling skit when they have to call in the ambulance and like the medics that come out are super jacked. You're like,
And they get beat up too.
really? Like, just way fucking just torqued up.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Man. Kim really sounded kind of almost like Quebecois there for a moment with the catastrophe. He doesn't often drop into the French.
The accent, the French,
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
She nods towards the sloop's cabin.
I hope I can answer it better.
All right. I like you, Joyce, but I don't have any confidence in your ability to stop this from going down.
Yeah?
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There is a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
And that's what the ancient reptilian brain was making reference to.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
All right.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
These tats.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like blooms in a pattern.
Keep going.
Port cities. On the oceans. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
This one's going nowhere but the morgue.
I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside his corpse.
This one has flown quite far by now.
Nowhere. There is no soul. To ourselves.
An empire without an emperor.
That's cool. What travels did the dead man make?
The lights go out, man. The lights go out. You ever see The Sopranos?
Not yet.
It's like that.
Quite a few.
Yeah, where?
Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
Points to his heart.
And in all these places, he killed quote-unquote loincloths.
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
Interesting.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
This lineup here with the blue shivers, yeah, almost makes reference to, well, almost sounds like we got people back at the station who are actually on our case, and not just us kicked out to the fucking winds on our own.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
You could tell me more.
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Good to know.
Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Oof. I need the information. Mark it down, ask Mercs about tattoos.
No, you're right. Not a good idea. Leave it off the schedule. It's going down. It's going down for real.
Yeah, let's ask.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
Bam. Right there.
Yeah.
Literally confront him. Bring the boss fight to him.
Straight up.
The long life bar will appear on his screen.
God.
We will be careful, ma'am.
Thanks. That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That was plenty.
I think so.
Wow. Oh, our trap is about to close.
That
on
was-
a big monster.
One of them. But lest we forget the glint of a sniper scope in the distance, we might get fucking picked off while going about our confrontation. Hey, what the fuck did you do to my statue, bro?
Yo, seriously. Yo, that is true. Scaffolding for nothing?
Tequila sunset.
What's going on?
No one does it better than me, eh? I was able to get it all together, and so fast, too. No wonder I used to be an industry leader. Listen, I can feel it in my guts. A bright future awaits you. The one and only Tequila Sunset. You're already building great brand equity. No doubt the profits will come rolling in shortly.
Let me guess, it's like when you put up an under construction sign with the fancy like logo and posters of your face smiling. That is doing better for your branding than actually completing the project.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of scaffolding.
It was extraordinary. Truly a feat of the century to get that scaffolding up so fast.
Of course not. Your trademark will be all over it as soon as the workers can get to it. The strike's holding them up. Not much I can do about that.
So solve the strike, and then the construction can begin.
What a clown.
Of course!
I guarantee the papers will pick it up once it's all finished. With photos and everything. You'll be the talk of the town. Investing into the community, creating value, giving back.
Hey, your new personal brand strategist still hasn't laid off the drink, even though he promised.
Yeah, I sort of need one right now.
Weren't you gonna drink less while on the job?
I wonder what the newspapers might say.
Alright, I trust you to deliver the final product.
I'm pulling the project. I don't have confidence it will ever get finished.
It isn't that easy, but I'm working on it. I really am. I even signed up for this evening group in Jamrock. What would you like them to say?
Local bankruptcy curse lifted by stock market mogul.
Philanthropist rescues local kid from violent father. Town pays tribute.
Local doomsayer solves murder and makes his fortune.
Wealthy businessman renovates local eyesore. Yeah.
But we haven't solved the murder yet. We might have if you hadn't got distracted by this.
Soon, Kim. Soon.
Very nice. You could be your own PR agent, Tequila.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Trust him.
Don't spend a single brain cell worrying about it. Just leave it all to me. The final outcome will be spectacular. Just takes a little time.
Just do the damn work.
I'm trusting you with my net worth here, man.
Anything else?
Throws one leg over another, smug and content.
What about Ruby?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages.
Okay,
He really
Electrocam.
has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
You know, maybe if he wasn't covered in shit, that would be a good first step.
Check back on the monument to reconceptualize. All right. Literally, just go back and stare at it.
You gotta understand it.
We got a lot of points.
4. Holy. Okay.
Let's start spending. Capping out Shivers. We can start balancing out Composure. It's been low for too long.
Okay. Half-light, Electrochem, and Pain Threshold at 2.
Electrochem can fuck off. Half-light, not bad. Electrochem, yeah, no, we don't need that. Like it. And yeah.
Anything that you would think of for the incoming potential battle?
That's yeah. Well, I mean, we were okay on endurance. Physical instrument is where it is. Pain threshold is not wonderful. We can dress up for a lot of these mental stats. I think we can also dress up for esprit if needed. But yeah. The high places I'm okay with. Shivers being in the lead is good. Encyclopedia is giving us free experience because every time we get an encyclopedic reading, it's just boosting our shit.
Big 10 experience.
So, let's roll.
Okay, who's next?
Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah. Killed 4, armor pieces, murder weapon. Oh yeah, we need to go see the old lady for the murder weapon.
Okay, so well that's 2,200 hours.
Okay. Classy is gone.
So once we go past the Everart checkpoint, I'm going to assume that we no longer even have to look at the other sniper spots, for example.
Yeah, do you think we should complete that completely?
We also have one more trap to find, which yeah,
it should be mentioned.
It was the
Yeah, just look it up.
Let's see.
Feld building west, and the one that Morel just set up.
In the camp itself. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sniper angles. Crypto traps.
Yeah, this man and
Church.
his man and his child.
Well, they're all day.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But